Again, addition and subtraction of radical expressions. If you see numbers, try to simplify the radical expression first by breaking down these numbers. 8 is 2 cubed, but since we're going to take the square root, so this is the same as to the half. So I want to be able to cancel 2 with numbers as that are exponents. So I'm going to go 8 is 2 to the 2 plus 1, which is the same as 2 squared times 2 to the 1. So I'm going to write this as 4. Radical expression is 2 squared times 2 to the 1 minus 50 is 5 times 10. 10 is 5 times 2. So that is 2 times 5 squared. So 2 times 5 squared minus 72 is 9 times 8 is 72. 9 is 3 squared and 8 is 2 cubed. So 2 cubed, since we're going to take the square root, the denominator is going to be 2 for the exponent. So I'm going to break it down in a convenient form. And I'm going to write 3 as 2 plus 1. So that's 3 squared times 2 squared times 2 to the 1. So this is 5 and that is 3 squared times 2 squared times 2 to the 1. Now we are ready to break down the radical expression. So that is radical 2 squared, radical 2, square root of 2 minus 2, radical 2 times radical 5 squared minus 5 times radical 3 squared, radical 2 squared, radical 2. So this is equal to 4 times 2 squared to the half. Just to show that these two cancel because we're going to multiply these two together. I'm going to leave radical 2 alone. So this is 2 radical 2 times 5 squared to the half. So when you multiply these two, the 2 and the 2 cancel, minus 3 squared to the half. When you multiply these together, the 2 and the 2 cancel. I get 2 squared to the half. Multiply the 2 together, the 2 and the 2 cancel. And then, of course, the radical 2. So this is equal to 8 radical 2 minus 5 to the 1. So we multiply this with 2 to make it a 10 radical 2. And then I have the 5 times 3 times 2. So that is 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Radical 2. Now we've simplified the radical expression completely. So I'm going to factor out the radical 2. And it's going to be 8 minus 10 minus 30 when I factor out the radical 2. So 8 minus 10 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 30 is negative 32 radical 2. So here again, addition and subtraction of radical expressions. The first thing always is to simplify the radical expression completely. And we've done this before, and this is equal to 9a, and we know this is to the half because it's square root of. So I'm going to break down the 20 and I'm going to write it as 5 times 4, which is 2 squared. So that's 5 times 2 squared. A cubed, I'm going to write it as a to the 2 plus 1 because I know the exponent is half, and I would want the 2 to cancel with the exponent inside, so that would be a squared, a to the 1. And of course the b squared. And the radical sign is over all that, so it's going to be to the half. So plus 7b, 45 is 9 times 5, which is equal to 3 squared times 5. A to the 5 is a to the 4 plus 1. So this is a to the 4 times a to the 1. And let me just fix this. The radical sign is the same as to the power of half. Now let's rewrite this. 9a, and then it's 5 to the half. Cannot be simplified any further. 2 squared, so that's what we're looking at, to the half, because it's all to the half. So based on the rules of exponents, everything gets raised to the power of half. A squared to the half, a to the half, b squared to the half, and cancel whatever you can. When you multiply the exponents, these get cancelled. Plus 7b, 3 squared to the half, 5 to the half, a to the 4 to the half, a to the 1 to the half. So this is equal to 9a, 5 to the half, 2 to the 1 times a to the 1, because the 2 and the 2 cancel, and then it's a to the half, b to the 1, plus 7b, 3 to the 1, can't simplify the 5 to the half any further. The 2 cancels with the 4, so you get 5 to the half, a to the second power, and then a to the half. Now let's collect all those terms with whole number exponents. So you have the 9 a, and then there's a 2, so the 9 times 2, 9 gets multiplied to 2 and it becomes 18, so I'm combining these two. There's another a, so a times a, and then of course a b. So I'm collecting all the terms that have whole number exponents. Now I'm going to write the rest of them that have exponential exponents. So there's the 1, and then there's another one. So let's write this down. So this is going to be 5 to the half times a to the half. So let's combine all these terms and write it as 1. So that is 18 a squared b. Now you have 5 to the half, a to the half. That's the same as 5a whole to the half. Now let's simplify the next term. I'm going to collect all those terms with whole number exponents. So there's a 7 and a 3 that combine and become a 7 times 3, 21. There's a b. I'm going to collect all the ones with the whole numbers exponents. The b to the 1, so that's a whole number exponent, and a squared. So I'm going to write this as a squared. Now the rest of the terms need to be taken care of. So that is 5 to the half a to the half. So this is equal to 5a to the half. So this is 18a squared b plus 21a squared b. So that's 21a squared b. So I'm writing it in the correct order. And then it's 5a to the half. So this is equal to 18a squared b radical 5a plus 21a squared b radical 5a. Radical 5a is a common factor. A squared b is also a common factor. So 18 plus 21. When I factor out this entire piece from both, because it's a common factor, a squared b radical 5a. So this is 18 plus 21 is 39. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. A squared b radical 5a. So it takes a little bit of time, but if you know the rules, it's not difficult. You just have to be organized, making sure that there are no errors. Just let me know if there are any errors, just text me. So now this is a cube root of. So 24 is 6 times 4. So 2 times 3 times 2 times 2. So that is 2 cubed times 3. Since we're taking the cube root, you know the exponent is going to be 1/3, and that's going to cancel with the 3. So that's perfect. So I'm going to write this as b cube root of, and instead of cube root, I'm going to write down whole to the 1/3. So it just makes it a little easier. So 2 cubed times 3, a to the 5th. So a to the 5th is, and I'm going to write it with a multiple of 3. So highest multiple of 3 less than 5 is a 3, and then 2 more. So that is a cubed times a squared. Go backwards and double check. So this is a cubed times a squared is a to the 5th. These two together is a to the 5th and b to the 1/3. Now this is 3a, and I'm going to write the rest as the whole thing to the 1/3. 81 is 9 times 9. So that's 3 squared times 3 squared. That is 3 to the 4th power. Since we're going to take it to the 1/3, I'm going to write this as 3 to the 3 plus 1. So that's 3 cubed times 3 to the 1. So that's 3 cubed times 3 to the 1. A squared, and b to the 4th. Since 2 is less than 3, there's not much I can do about that. So, but b to the 4th, I'm going to write it as the largest multiple of 3 less than 4 is 3 plus 1. So that is b cubed times b to the 1. So b cubed times b to the 1, which is really equal to b to the 4th power. Now we have b 2 to the 3rd to the 1/3, 3 to the 1/3, a cubed to the 1/3, a squared to the 1/3. Everything gets a 1/3 as an exponent, and b to the 1/3 plus 3a, 3 cubed to the 1/3, 3 to the 1/3, a squared to the 1/3, b cubed to the 1/3, b to the 1/3. So this is equal to, and then you cancel common factors. So this is, I'm going to collect all the terms at the beginning with whole number exponents. So that is 2. So this is what you get when you simplify collect.